we locked in. KC the Prospect.
Yes,
DC the Menace.
sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, man, so let's start from the beginning, man. So where you guys from?
So I grew up in Sylmar, California, San Fernando Valley. Where you from, man?
Same thing, Boconga, California,
Yes, sir.
San Fernando Valley, Panorama City now.
Mhm.
Pretty much everything's all kind of surrounding each other, so haven't left the valley pretty much.
So how y'all know each other?
Oh man, I don't even know how I know this person, bro. To be rich, and I was just playing. Now we're brothers, man. We're brothers. We haven't really been making music over the years, but since the past couple of years, we actually reconnected. Been making dope ass beats and just going in on the hip hop shit, man. So but we grew up together. We're brothers. This is my big brother.
So man, tell me a little about your neighborhood, man. So how'd you grow up? Was it rough or how? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily, man. There's just a lot of opportunity, to be successful and just to grow as an individual, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I grew up in a blessed neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? So I've just been embracing the blessings as much as I possibly can and just doing my thing with that.
So how'd you get your foot into music, man? Tell me a little about how you started and
it was actually through basketball, man. But I had a really good, close group of homies that were just really into hip hop, and it's just all about collecting the best music out at that time and just playing the best music while we were playing basketball, and that's how I really fell in love with music, man.
CDs.
Yeah, CDs, man. Collecting CDs back in the day, that was the thing. Obviously all that stuff is obsolete now, but yeah, that's what it was for me, and that's how I just started digging into it.
When you started making music, were you just hopping into the rapping, or were you doing something else at first?
Nah, man. Back in the day, I used to do a lot of remixes. I used to go by DJ Killer Cali back in the day, so I used to do a lot of Easy remixes, Tupac remixes, and just the mixtape game was like just on, just like on fire at that time. DatPiff.com, I had some projects on there, so I got really deep into that. And later on, I just started doing music production. And over the years, I started working with Trophy Sounds and started getting more into rapping and all that. These days, I'm getting more into hip hop production and just focusing on instrumental, man, and just reconnecting with that love for hip hop and creativity,
We gotta shout out the MySpace era.
We do. We have to get it
I
started.
don't think that was
That's
mentioned
where it
here.
started?
That was not mentioned here though. The MySpace era.
The MySpace era.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of really where
Yeah. We're showing our age right now.
2005, 2000.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of can't forget that.
Yeah, we can't forget that.
So that was.
Especially out to Tom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Was it Tom?
Everybody's first friend.
That was everybody's first homie.
He never left us hanging, actually.
He never left us
hanging. We couldn't get rid of him.
Yeah.
At one point, did you link up with Trophy Sounds? Is that your rap group, record label? Tell me a little bit about that.
No, that was a rap group that I was part of for quite a few years. I linked up with him. I was working with this artist named Ruler Rick at the time, and I was a producer. And he had a couple of homies, and that's how I met Skeezy, Jay Fid, and a couple other homies. And we just started connecting from there, man, and just making some really dope music, man. So
Skeezy, I mean, was like your rap partner? Or like how'd y'all kind of collaborate musically?
He was a producer. I was a co-producer with him. We didn't really have a rapper at the time, so I just decided to take on that responsibility and started making projects from there. And we started working with Romeo Holloway, made one project with him, and just kept experimenting with the music. And then we had other artists like Jay Fit coming to the mix and Rel, and a whole bunch of great artists at that time.
You kind of had a transition through your musical career, so you kind of start off with hip hop.
Yeah.
You kind of step back from the mic, and now you kind of want to be behind the scenes, making production.
I do, man.
So what kind of led to that transition, and like, is that kind of where your direction is with music now?
I think so, man. I just really have rediscovered my love for making beats again, and this is originally what I've always loved doing, is just focusing on music production and just composing music and just getting into that creative space, you know what I'm saying? So this is, it's good to just kind of be back into that realm of creativity, and then it also just helps me and my brother just to kind of reconnect and just, make this music, whether he's doing the drum patterns or I'm doing the samples or vice versa, it's a fun thing, man. I love the space that I'm at right now,
Tommy, man, so how do you kind of fit into the whole collaboration?
My influences are a little different. I'm, an East Coast head as far as that goes. I've always been big on East Coast stuff. Like DJ Premier, Lark Professor, Beat Nuts, things like that. But shout out to everybody on the West Coast. You know, I grew up out here, so Dr. Dre, of course.
No doubt.
You know, gotta have all the Death Row people, Daz, Fred Red, Battle Cat, all them in the mix too. But you know, I've always been an East Coast head, so it's, you know, I did music a long time ago. You know, I was like my early 20s. I'm not gonna say my age here. I'm 39, so it's, you know, like I'm beginning the MySpace era. You know, I was doing stuff here and there, but like never anything big. Like, no, you know, a lot of just, I don't even know where half the stuff is. Like, I don't even know it's on somebody's CDR somewhere at their house, probably.
Right.
CDR.
That's history. That's history.
But you know, things like that. I never really did anything. My brother was always, you know, he's been way more out there than I ever was. So, you know, I dropped off for a long time. You know, just it is what it is. You know, have a kid and, you know, just working, things like that. But these past few years, you know, just kind of now that things leveled out a little bit, just, you know, kind of found like a little love for music again. I mean, I've always been a fan, but, you know, making music, that kind of stuff, you know, I think the pandemic kind of made me want to get back into it a little bit, actually, to be honest. So,
yeah, I think so.
You know, that kind of triggered it a little bit, and then just everything kind of snowballed into what it is now. You know, my brother got his own place, and now he has a little studio here. And
yeah, for what it is, you know. Yeah, I definitely think the pandemic has really like reconnected our musical chemistry. You know, I think for like, there was like a small period where I was just like, dude, like I'm really done with like rapping. And like during the 1906 album, I was just like, dude, like I don't really know if I want to continue making music. But then that was re-energized when me and you connected during the pandemic. So, you know, that's when we started really creating it.
So it sounds like, you know, pandemic for a lot of people kind of, everybody was at home, everybody was separated, but it sounds like for y'all it kind of brought y'all closer together.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's what it should do for family. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think the music brings people together, ultimately. You know what I'm saying?
Obviously, we're in the studio right now. You know, we see your setup right here. I'm sure the fans at home want to know. I mean, what you working with, man? Tell me a little bit about your setup, your software, what you like to use.
Yeah, man. You know, so for the longest time, I was working things on a Sony Acid Pro for a long time. But you know, I just wanted to get a little bit more hands-on with things and just adopt the new programming. So FL Studio has really just been really great for me in terms of you know, my transition into like, you know, moving from one software to another. So now I'm just fully, you know, fully immersed in this FL Studio, and I'm using the FL 25 mini key. It's just been a really great musical process, and shout out to Spitfire for like, you know, all the different plugins that they provide too as well. So, you know, it's a lot of great products out there, and that's what I utilize. So
yeah, tell me what you rocking with, man.
You know, I've always been a hardware person, so you know, MPC 2000 was the first thing I've ever had. No, 2000 XL was the first thing I ever had. I've always been more into the hardware stuff. You know, just to me, it feels more organic. But that's no knock on anybody that does software. It's just I started off with just, you know, pads and just the machine, zip disks, that kind of shit. I just hope to never ever go back to that. Yeah. But you know, right now I have something called the Isla S2400, which is like a more modernized version of SP12, the SP1200, which is a really old school machine. It's really great. You know, maybe we'll see it one of these days live in action. Pretty much that, you know, and then coming here and getting a feel for the software stuff, FL Studio, you know, just whatever Joe has banging out on the pads on this stuff. It's a lot different, but I think at the end of the day, it's all about the creativity, what you feel up here, kind of, you know, translates what you actually execute, that kind of thing. So
yeah, I think it's just a different way of producing, different way of how would I describe that as a different canvas? Is that how you would describe that? It's a different canvas?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. It's just at the end of the day, it's, you know, your ideas are still there. Like, you know, you can give all of us the same equipment, but not all of us are going to do the same things with it, right? So it's just kind of like, you know, it's not really what you have, it really is what you do with it. At the end of the day. So you can have the most primitive machine, but you know, like in the old school days, like the 80s, early 90s, everybody was using these machines that had like not even 5 second sample time, 5, 6, 7, and they all, you know, made these crazy hits that, you know, we know now. You know, all about the creativity, how you handle it, what you do with it, pretty much. Limitations and all that, that's how you work with it.
What y'all got working on right now, man? You know, what can we expect from KC the Prospect and DT coming up?
Oh yeah, man. So right now I got this new project titled New Waves that's about to drop. Just more lo-fi shit, just more hip hop instrumentals. Actually, I got an instrumental with me and DT on there. It's gonna be really dope. I think people are really gonna enjoy it, really gonna mess with it. So that's coming out. And as everybody knows, No Love in Los Angeles came out recently, and that was dope. Back there, you know what I'm saying? So, working on No Love in Los Angeles Part 2. I think that's gonna be a really dope project, and just more projects to come, man. So.
What do y'all think about hip hop now, man? You be seeing a lot of these rappers wearing, purses, tight jeans. It seems like hip hop has kind of, separated itself from what it was, when you guys were growing up. So, what do y'all think about that? Could you see yourself working with somebody from the new school?
Yeah, like in my opinion, I think I care more about just the art itself. So, I mean, if that's what they want to do in terms of promoting their music, then that's cool, that's dope. But I care more about the quality of the music. You know what I'm saying? If they make dope music, then I'm willing to collaborate. I'm willing to create with them. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's just about the creativity and the artistry of it. So.
Honestly, I guess the question was, would I collaborate with somebody like that, or how do I feel about the new generation? That was kind of a loaded question, right?
So actually both of those.
Yeah. Okay. Again, just being a little older, I'm biased toward 90s stuff. That's just what it is, I won't lie to you, I slept on a lot of things. There's a lot of dope ass artists out there that I never really gave the chance, and once I've heard their stuff, and I'm like, okay, I can kind of get with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just of course, my era is just, I'm a 90s person, this is what it is, but I don't knock it. Like, I'm trying to think who's like newer people that, of course Kendrick. I can't put any hate on him. East Coast stuff. I'm trying to think who's even out there like East Coast stuff. It's escaping me right now. There's like one or two that I was listening to recently. I can't even remember right now, but well, to be continued on that.
A$AP Rocky.
A$AP Rocky. Definitely okay.
Dave East.
Yeah, Dave East. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are rocking with the TDE camp.
Them too.
Not everybody, obviously Kendrick is part of that, but Schoolboy Q, but again, all I really know is Oxymoron. I don't know all the other stuff outside of that, but I'm down with that. I never really got into Absol. I don't know a lot of, I haven't heard enough.
Absol's dope though.
But again, that's, shout out to all of them. They're repping the West Coast, so shout out to all of that. But as far as me doing anything, if anybody's on the same vibe, why not? If they want to rock with whatever it is that I happen to have, then cool. I have a son that's about going to be 18, so he's younger, he's hip to all this stuff, so I try to be in tune, be up to game with a lot of this stuff, but I can't get with the style. I'm a bigger dude, so I can't wear tight clothes. Tight jeans is not my thing.
It's a tighter fit.
Maybe if I was slimmer, possibly, but I can't.
We're genetically bigger people. That's
a whole nother story.
That's a whole nother story.
Like in terms of fashion and stuff goes, we can't really rock with it, but it's a different time.
Yeah.
So there's no diss to anybody. It's just not my thing.
You've been hearing a lot about rappers now, catching RICO cases, kind of deviating themselves from the rap and keeping one foot in the streets, one foot out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What y'all think about that, man? Do you think once you get successful, should you kind of just, let that street shit go and focus on, the business side of things? What do you think of these rappers that are kind of, 50-50 with it?
Oh man, that's a really good question, man. I think when you grow up in that environment, it's hard to let go of certain things. You know what I'm saying? Some things are just so integrated that it's hard to just kind of separate yourself from that situation. So I understand it from that perspective, but from the other perspective, it's if you're doing all these great things and you're riding boats and taking vacations and touring, seeing the world, it's like, why wouldn't you, right? But I don't know. Everybody's situation is different, and the approach to this life is different. You know what I'm saying? And everybody has their responsibilities, whether it's the environment that you grow up in or the responsibility of being a celebrity or being famous. You know what I'm saying? It's all something that we have to, maintain and adopt over time. But everybody has their approach to it now. So.
As far as that goes, a 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of thing. Just my perspective is that I think too many of, when I say us, just I think too many people glorify the wrong things. It's like people that are successful, they feel like they have to still be down with the shit that they left behind, so to speak. So they feel like they have to prove something when they really don't. And at the end of the day, it's just like, you look at most of the rappers. I mean, when I say rappers, because I don't think this really happens in other genres of music like that.
I don't know if it does.
I don't think it really does, to be honest.
Yeah, you never heard about
but
Brooks doing
I don't think getting trapped in these nothing like that. But you think people like Nipsey, rest in peace. People like you going back to Soulja Slim. All of these people, they all got killed in their own neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. The neighborhoods that they big up so much, they all got killed in their own neighborhoods. Yeah. Instead of being told by the homies, get up out of here, stay as far away. You do you. We'll hold it down out here. I don't think enough people give you that love or to make you feel like it's okay to be away from it. Like they always make you feel like you're leaving. Oh, what are you doing for the community? What are you doing for the hood? What are you doing for the homies?
Yeah.
And I think to me that's kind of the wrong approach. But that's just me saying that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has a lot to do with what we're reinforcing, right? Like if we're reinforcing the behavior of continuously be successful and continuously, embrace the opportunities that you have, then, obviously that behavior is going to increase over time, right? But if we're reinforcing the behavior of, loyalty, then that's the behavior that you're going to see over time. So, this is just me on my psychological shit, but I mean, that's just my opinion about it.
Just more so, I think people should glorify going to school, going to college or whatever it is, getting some kind of a higher education, if you will, or learning some kind of trade. Get out and explore the world. At the end of the day, just even here in the valley, us in the valley, this is a blip in the world that's out there. Like this isn't shit. I'm just saying, this is just really, people. I think us as people need to encourage the younger generations to do better, to just see the world and not feel like being a nerd or not being a troublemaker is a bad thing. What I mean?
Being a nerd is cool. I think
it's not showing it
fucking dope.
Too many people glorify the wrong shit.
Go get you a degree.
You don't have to go to jail to be cool. It's not like a rite of passage or shit like that. When it comes to hip hop, I think again it kind of seems to be isolated to that because these other genres of music don't deal with these same types of problems, right?
Yeah.
But that's another topic of discussion. I think that might be good to touch on. But it's just I think a lot of people just glorify the wrong stuff, and people feel like they have to be a certain way when it's okay to not have ever been in trouble in your life. It's okay to not be doing dirt, go to school. I think get a job. Nothing's wrong with supporting your, doing a normal 9 to 5, and that's just what I'm saying. I think just us as a whole glorify the wrong things.
Yeah, I think it's about bringing the younger generation up and just showing them more of the positive things in life and giving them more opportunities to be successful. It's the love that you have to give to the younger generation, and that's what I feel personally. It's all about, and the more love you give for them, and the more opportunities you give for them in order to be successful, and the more everybody's going to be able to thrive, and the more better this world will be.
And I can say this as a father, it's this encouragement. Kids need encouragement. The younger generation, I think, needs encouragement. They need love and encouragement. That's all I can say to that. They need to feel like they're doing something right. I think technology is kind of a big factor of how things are panning out in this world now. Especially, everybody has a camera. Everything's burned. People were doing dirt back then. How many people got caught? I mean, people got caught, but to the extent of it is now, people are doing stuff on Instagram Live or TikTok, stuff like that, just burning themselves. It's just, it's not.
It seems like now, with social media and smartphones, it makes it easier for the FBI to catch people because they just be snitching on themselves pretty much.
Sure.
It seems like with social media, it's like somebody can have a hit song and and blow up, and then record labels be hitting up their DMs, $1 million deals.
It seems that way.
What is the best advice you've been given throughout your journey?
Like journey as far as like through music or just in life in general?
Your music.
Oh yes, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, I just pick up stuff from my brother mostly because he's been in it way more than I ever have. As far as doing stuff, it should be fun. Just have fun with it.
Yeah.
It should be something you want to do and enjoy. That's pretty much it. Just do what you want to do and have fun with it.
Yeah, man. I think that's a great question. What's the best advice somebody gave me in terms of making music? I remember one time I was working with this artist, and I can't remember his name. It was such a long time ago, but I remember he said, I make the music because I want to make the music, because this is what I love to do. It's not because of what other people want me to do, and I think I've always borrowed that philosophy and just always applied it to my own music, and that's what I continuously do, is I make the music that I want to create and I want to do. If I want to do a country album next week, I'm probably going to do it because I'm inspired. But I mean, I'm not saying I am going to make a country album.
Spend too much time in Zito, man.
Yeah, I know. I think, this this place has been really inspirational out here. But yeah, I mean, I think if you make it about what you personally want to do, then you're always going to be happy with the music that you create. So that's how I look at it.